to another ranked replay cast. Down here we've got Fox Fur Coat in red on Canyon on the south against B13. Thought Nick said it was Princess Fox. What's going on here? Quit, you lied to me. Oh no, it's equals. Oh, I can't read at distance. Oh well. So we've seen 2 from Nick. Now we're going to see the second from B13. No spoilers in chat, please, B13. I don't know what's going on, and nor should the viewers. Righto. B13 on the north, going bots and air into more bots, more air, and then a vehicle transition late in the day. Fox Fur Coat or Princess Fox underneath on the south. Bots air, air bots. And this is Canyon. Expansion's a little bit further away than might be comfortable. But equally, Canyon being such a large lava planet as it is, such an open lava planet as it is, drifters and locusts, and even docks in the early game as well, can be a real hassle to deal with. Especially if you manage to get them streaming up round the back here to these double mechs expansions. So you can bring them around in all of these different places. Expansions coming up from B13 on the north. Few docks, trading blows. Likewise the air doing the same thing. I was going to say, I don't think there's any air only metal on this one. Well, there is, but not in the same design as the other ranked maps. On this one you've got islands, so it can still be raided by locusts. Down with a few docks there from B13, clearing out his expansions before his fabs get there. We do have the odd docks, though, from that can approach from other avenues that can still take out these fabs if they are fortunate enough, manages to see the fabs there. Turrets going up, though. B13 taking the ground. The ownership there. Trying to put some factories up at the same time as Fox on his expansions, just to keep his bot fabrication going. I think there was a counter spoiler, Innocence. Quitch and B13 countering each other. So at this point, which one's right? Who knows? Is Quitch the sort of person to lie, even though Quitch submitted the replay? Or is Quitch the nice benevolent person to throw the doubt that'll keep the game tense and interesting for everyone else? At which point, that means that he knows that B13 didn't win, and is therefore trying to throw doubt, and therefore we can assume that Fox won. But let's not go into that. Third air factory coming up now for B13. The airplay is very strong on Canyon and very common indeed. Likewise, 3 air factories for Fox, 3 bot factories, 2 the vehicle transition at the staging point for B13. Locking down the 4 mechs on the equator. Docks coming in. Laser turret just about getting up. A wall as well. B13 not wanting to engage in that. And we've got the vehicles in the base now too. T2 bots. I wonder whether the vehicles in the base were for a later T2 vehicle transition, but we've already got the T2 vehicles down here. Perhaps that was queued just in case this one didn't get up. Or maybe it's just muscle memory. The commander usually going for that on the map from B13's build queue, perhaps. More vehicle factories elsewhere. Actually, I reckon that vehicle staging posts are quite good. There's a smaller path and movement time for the vehicles. Will start to pack a punch, and it kind of locks the area down as well, especially if you more or less have your opponent boxed in at this point. But neither player really going on this side of the planet at all. Just focusing on this one. The air superiority for B13 now. Fox, though, without a bomber, with the right air micro, could balance the odds. Very comparable numbers. 16 against, well, just about 19 there. Coming in, taking out an air fab, moving in over the top. Using a few shots on the bomber, though. And moving in over that. So because they had shot off at the air fab, they didn't get their shots off into the air blob as early as they would have liked, and therefore had to wait before shooting again. And that is what you shouldn't do with air. Oh, that's good for B13, who's trying to keep Fox down in the air game. T2 bots now up for both parties. Well, completed for Fox, though. Are we going to have locusts? I don't know. B13 establishing defensive fronts. Fox going on to defensive turtle mode. God, I tell you, I played against an ultimate turtle on Singe. Didn't expand at all, but just went T2 and just went catapults and T3 point laser turrets and pelters and... oh! It was a nightmare to deal with. Just frustrating. I won the game, but... took until T2 Naval to crack the egg. Crack the nut. Going into orbital? What? We've got Locust coming out as well for Fox. How good a raiding is that gonna do? Both players starting to expand onto the other hemisphere now. But single Locusts on this map could be quite potent. Especially against these three mechs here that are only defended by Galata, that unless manually triggered will not be shooting at those Locusts. On the move there, perhaps. Maybe not. And here we go, B13 moving in with the vehicles across the lava there. Keeping that staging point alive in the middle. And out come the Locusts here. Just a single one will take out this entire expansion. Down it goes. Down they go. Beautiful. Could not ask for more. Going for the next two mechs as well, and now we know why B13 was saying this game tilted him hard. The turret doesn't get the turn in time either. That Locust is doing work. And Fox also making inroads against the defences of the staging point there because of the aggressive pelter creep. Looks like the Locust got bombed because the attention was elsewhere for a moment, leaving it idle. Another one. Getting picked off by a dox there briefly. Ooh. Not doing a huge amount. And walks into bombs. As you do. I've just seen a great picture. It was sent to me on WhatsApp. It's Queen Elizabeth on a black and white tiled floor. Both her feet are on a black tile. And the caption reads, "Be aware, she can move in any direction." I don't know why that tickled me quite as much as it did, but that's amusing. Right, here we go. Fox still using all the might on this one point here. B13 doing a really good job at focusing Fox's efforts there. The orbital didn't do very much either. The T2 air transition is a thing. What T2 have we got going up in B13's base there? T2 air as well. And lots of mines, just in case there are locusts. B13 aware of the locust threat, so wants to make sure that this front is locked down. Wise to that. Bombers picked off from B13 there. Moving down with the slammers now. At this point, I think that Fox perhaps needs to go for the ghillies. And get just a couple of pesky units there, just picking off B13's defences that he now needs to re-sort out and rebuild there. B13 desperately trying to get in close to these walls there. Docks moving in from the west. B13 repulsed by heavy wall defences. Slammers not quite getting through. Snipers coming in now too. Lobs getting picked off. And we've even got a mend here. How often do you see those? Putting up Galata on the fly. How unusual is this? What else will we see the men do? Putting mines there, perhaps? Really interesting use of units here. Sniper bots. Picking off the factories. Men sat in the middle. Doing a bit of... I don't know what he was doing there. Doing a bit of repairing and building. What? What is it doing? What? Why was the health bar so high? What? Okay. The men derped the Galata. Right. T2 air now. The Kestrel's out for B13. The Phoenix, though, out for Fox. Trying to move around the terrain here. There's Fox Furcoat. Still trying to make an inroad against B13. Let's have a look about any other raiding that's been going on. Fox, though, expanded to the rest of the equator. Both players floating a little bit, though. Fox's eco jumping ahead because of this expansion. Claimed all 8 of these. B13 trying to be putting up defences, but it's not got all that many factories for both of these players with the amount of floating that's going on. A T2 vehicles there for B13. A second T2 air and a T2 vehicles planned for Fox, though. Now you've got 2 T2 bots for him there as well. So B13 a little bit behind on the T2 production front. Oh, Quitch throwing fire and shade. I love it when Marshall casts bronze games. Oof. Oof. Is that because I just sound utterly clueless, Quitch? So Fox here, as B13 tried endlessly to get in here. You can see all of these charred remains of all of B13's units that have tried and failed to break this bastion, and now Fox is probably ready to properly counterattack and get rid of this, but the Pelters are still doing work. Still keeping B13 at bay. Snipers trading. We haven't had any more locusts coming out though. Have had a few losses over here for B13 on the other hemisphere. Pressing out down the long corridor. Another T2 factory queued there, and a T2 fab going to be building it. It's going to get up quite quick. And we've got defensive kestrels there too. For Fox. Focusing down the... What? What killed that? What killed that kestrel? I'm curious. Ooh, could have a T2 fab kill here. T2 mechs doesn't quite get finished. But the fab survives and the kestrel's coming in there to support. Look at this on the front though. Let's have a unit count up. 6 snipers, was 7 a second ago. 6 slammers and a few docks. Moving in though is Fox with fewer snipers, but more slammers, more docks and more tanks. Also moving in against the walls though, and B13 is not behind them. What are you doing, Fox? What is this? What is this game? I don't know, but we've got wall strats, and there we go, B13 moving behind them. He realises, yep, okay, I'm getting behind these walls. Pelter's sat behind this little rocky outcropping, doing some work now. B13 must be rubbing his hands in glee here, as Fox is taking a bit of his own medicine there. But... Fox beginning to do the escalation, the arms race, the Hulkins coming out. Oh my word. The artillery and the trench warfare is real right here in Canyon between these two players. That is great. Great to see. Not great for the players, but good fun for us. I love unconventional plays in ranked like this. Shella's coming out now as well, using the range against the snipers, standing behind the walls, poking out a little bit as they do. Getting sniped though, the Shella's gone. Have we got any more coming in? I don't know. B13 there, using the air for a bit of vision. Building his own Hulkins behind the walls now as well. Fox finished it. In it comes. Landing just a little bit away from the T2 fabs. That's the crucial thing. If they can kill off those T2 fabs, that will be bad for B13. He'll massively slow down the defense here. Catapult now up as well. Hulkins against the army on the side. Fox's army all spread out, splattered in between these trenches. I don't know what exactly Fox is doing here with these movements. But it's really unconventional stuff going on. Hulkins not targeting the army though. Instead targeting the opposing artillery. And combat fabs, there we go. But here we go, B13 getting some vision with the air. Sees that there's not a lot left. There's a few shellers though, using the factories as cover. Popping away. B13 still not getting through. Using the air just to see what's going on. All of those pilots, if they were actually manned, they'd be thinking, what on earth is this? And we are all doing the same. Fox not going for the air confrontation straight away. Instead, looking around the rest of the map with the air. Still managing to defend the other long corridor as well. Got that T2 factory up that we saw a while ago. And still has the mechs expansion around the rest of the place, and even getting some on B13's side there. The air-only mechs with the air fab. If you leave the air fabs alone, I mean, you may as well get what you can. Air trade, though. Who will come out on top here? Looks like Fox has the advantage. And it does. B13's air is no more. Kestrel's coming out. Looks like we need to have some more Phoenix, though. Please, B13. More T2 vehicle factories now for B13 as well. Levelers into the mix and counter-shellers too. The Hulkins trying to pick away at the wall. Needs to see that the Hulkins is coming up there. Fox manages to scout the Hulkins. Will he therefore target it with his own? Doesn't look like it's doing so yet. Instead going for the catapults. B13 trying to push out again. Fox still defending this front. What is going on? There we go. Hulkins starting to peck away closer. Something took out the Hulkins that was being built there. This is madness. And Fox's commander moving out to the front lines as well. What are you doing? Get back into your base, sir. The place of the commander is safe and secure behind the fortress walls, not out on the plains. Thank you very much. What are you doing? What are you doing? Fox, please. I don't know what's going on there. Building Galata instead with that comm, perhaps. Locusts coming out too. Going to anger B13, so we've got to push out on the main front there. That will try and... Well, what I'll do is I'll just do this, and we can watch those Locusts in there. As we see the main push, the sniper bots there, and the slammers, and the levelers, and the shellers, all starting to break through the walls, and B13 has no more defenses. The catapults are down. There's only one sheller left. And a flak. The flak will make all the difference. No, it didn't. That's a surprise. And there we go. B13 even has 2 T2 power gens on the front lines in jeopardy there. But the air comes in the last minute to save it. But Fox comes in with his own air, trying to keep the Kestrels off, but doesn't have enough. B13 still keeping the front line base afloat. Just no fabs are there. Needs to replenish that, though. There's a single T1 fab there. And that's it. The T2 fabs are gone. Fox now has the opportunity to push out again, but needs the air support and going into orbital again. How far did those Locusts get? Not very. Looks like the Kestrels managed to pick them off. Nice charred remains on the lava. Beep, 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 beep. Haha. B13 now turning to another front. The long corridor down the side. Fox, though, also has units there and T2 fabs. Perhaps ready to set up another another trench line. How are we doing on factory and eco counts, though? Fox has the advantage there as well. B13 expanding with fabs, probably going to reclaim these mech sites thereafter. Having set up the defences, there we go, reclaiming it. Going to take it from Fox. Air coming out as well, going to start picking away at all this T1. There's not a lot of Galata floating around, so B13 using now the might of those Kestrels and the movement speed, just going around and taking them all out. Down and out. An orbital fab is up, though, and another Hulkins creeping forward. B13 not going for any anti-orbital as of yet. Blue Hawks, of course, though, can be built at the flick of a switch. They do have anti-orbital, so don't need to go for static umbrellas. And also, catapults have anti-orbital too. Kestrels starting to make their play. B13 making inroads here. T2 factory. You got all these units here, Fox. Come on, move them in. There we go. Oh. Snipers target practice. This one needs to learn a bit. There we go. With a double tap. And an Ares? What is this game? At a higher level ranked game, I'm seeing orbital, I'm seeing trench warfare, I'm seeing artillery creeping, and I'm seeing Titan play. What? This is most unorthodox. Got a couple of games from Admiral General after this. I don't know how they're going to top this one, though. There scouts the command ace, sees it. He knows where it is. But loses a lot of air in the process. Oh, shellers to mines! Not good! Ugh. B13 now, though. Ooh. Locusts to mines, too. Locust to more mines? Come on. You need some detection. Don't do it again! Oh my word. Need some minesweepers over there. You know, a combat fab in a pelican, you know, that also counts as a detection. Equally a skitter in a pelican. Still detects the mines. We saw that in a 1v1 tournament game a while ago. It made me squeal a little bit, I think it did. I was really quite surprised by that. Gleeful at the revelation. Fox still picking around at any expansions it can. Hulkin's still creeping. Have we got another one? Another one. Just at the apex of the range there. Is that the right word? Apex of the range? I don't think so. The height of the range. There we go. Maximum. Peak. Extremity. B13 still holding the fort. Factories comparable. B13 leading by 2. Fab accounts pretty equal there too. Edge. Or just to the tip. Wow, okay. Thanks, Phil. Lowering the tone. Quitch. Don't encourage the man. Coming with an orbital factory. Are we going to see some SXX? Please, come on. Locusts in the base, though. Nom 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 nom. T2 power, not T2 power. T1 power gone. And a T2 factory 2. No wonder B13 said he was raging. Didn't quite manage to get through the trench, and the locusts are nomming at his base. He's coming in as well. T2 radar, not T2 radar. Well, yeah, I guess it counts as T2 radar for orbital mode. I forget what the name of it is, just orbital radar, satellite. Again, though, still with those shellers. Could use a few storms and a few more spinners there. Mines against the Ares. Ugh. Not great news. B13 running out of army here. Most of it is in the air and on the other corridor, which is going to get thinned out quite nicely by the defender's advantage before it really makes inroads. The big moment here, though, is the Ares that just about, I reckon, will manage to shoot over the rocks. It will. Moving into range of a few snipers there, I think it did for a moment. TB got some Blue Hawks coming out as well, like I said. Blue Hawks for the anti-orbital. Ares getting chased home Trying to keep it at range. That's what you got to do with the Ares. Keep it at range. Anything else in Fox's base that we should be aware of? Nothing silly like nukes in this game on top of everything else. Good. Kestrel's still picking away at the Ares without its air defense. More orbital fabbers to assist. SXX coming out now too. Moving though in the wrong direction. Possibly though for the defense of the realm. Here we go with all these SXX. We're up to 4 now. Excuse me. And the radar giving the nice intel for that Ares that can now shoot at its maximum range. All the way at the defense. The defending catapults there, which I'm sure would have been put up for both the anti-orbital and for the against the Ares, but now when it can see everything that's coming its way, it can just fire away. Getting pushed by docks. This big, mighty tank getting shoved by nothing more than lice. And stopped by a wreckage. Help! I cannot move! Oh dear. What can B13 really do against this? Have we got any Blue Hawks to support this corridor? No. So the SXX can just pick away at that. B13 must be thinking, yeah, this is curtains. The army there is starting to wilt. He's got naught but his air game. The ground count is lacking here. Can the SXX shoot the air? I don't know if they can target it. Looks like they're trying to, yeah. They're trying to shoot at the air. Why are you doing that? You're going to get shot at by Blue Hawks though if you go in any closer. The Ares still picking away at things. The Kestrels are gone for B13. There's naught left to defend. B13 subjugated by Fox in this game. Progressing from trenches to artillery, to Titans, to orbital. Doesn't get more peculiar than this. Nope, still no nuclear plate. But instead just pushing in with the ground forces now for Fox. Surely must realise, yep, it's enough. Omega now too. This is redonkulous. Here we go. Watch the commander. As you see the Omega overhead, the SXX moving in from the west, and the army. Strolling in, still the Kestrels trying to defend there. Fox coming in, you can see, picking off the Kestrels, only about 3 remain. The airfab sat in the middle of it all thinking, yeah, this is quite a nice view. Moving up and around. The GGs must be called at this point, surely. The Shellers just finishing things off. I wonder, where are those SXX? Have they moved in yet? There we go. Well then. That was that. Why have I got that notification? Go away.